Hello, choir and guests. We have a really fresh arrangement of the classical hymn, Come Christians Join to Sing, and I'm looking forward to offering this with you. Let me say something about this before I move on to the musical notes. The arranger, Dennis Allen, keeps the exact text of the hymn while creatively altering the traditionally used tune called Spanish hymn. If you see right here, it says here, music, traditional Spanish melody. Now in our hymnal, you will find the tunes that are associated with the text. And as you can see right here, in Come Christians Join to Sing, at the bottom it says Spanish hymn. So I don't know much about this tune, but it's Spanish in origin, okay? But this new tune that Dennis Allen creates sounds almost like a completely different musical setting. But when you look closely, you can see the origins of the new melody in the original tune. And this is a sign of a good arranger, and Dennis Allen has been around for a long time. So as you get to know this piece, see if you can figure out how he creatively altered the melody of the original tune to make a new one. The identity is still there. Okay, let's get on with musical notes. The form. This song is a typical song form, but with some variation, okay? Verse, refrain, stuff like that. Okay, verse 1, the women sing on page 1, and then all verses in voice 2. So make sure you note this. It says here, the men sing verse 2 second time only. This is page 1. But when we come to the top of page 2, all voices join in both times, okay? Now on verse 2, you can see the men join in and kind of echo what the women are doing. And at the bottom of the page, the echo is just a little different. And then, of course, on verse 2, the men can sing parts on the top of page 2. Now in verse 3, it's a little different. On verse 3, everyone sings unison on those opening 4 measures of the verse. And then we go back to parts. Nothing tricky, I just wanted to point that out to you. All right, note on the first and second ending on page 3. Let's look at that. This is the only repeat in the piece, but it is a little tricky, okay? So as you come to page 3, you'll see the first ending right here, okay? And it continues to down here. Now, what I want you to do is after you finish singing and you cut off, and I'll signal that cut off, the piano plays for a little bit right here. This is when I want you to turn back. You turn back to the first page, right there at the repeat at measure 5. Now I want you to turn back while the piano is playing right here, because if you wait until the piano finishes playing those 2 measures, you'll be late and you'll probably rustle the pages, and we'll see a panicked expression on your face, and we'll hear rustling pages. So basically, when you finish verse 1, sing this note, cut off, and then gently and quietly turn the page as the piano finishes the ending of verse 1. Okay, the second ending. The second ending, you can see at the top of the page, you sing this and immediately go down to verse second ending right there. So what I want you to do is practice moving your eyes from this part down to the second ending so you don't panic, okay? So that's the roadmap for that particular repeat. But after that, it's pretty easy. Okay, dynamics. Dynamics are very straightforward. The verses are mezzo forte and the choruses are forte. And these levels are consistent throughout the piece. Think about the verses as stating biblical truths or ideas of how and why we should worship God, and then Alleluia as the refrain of a shout of celebration. So you can use that as the motivation of the dynamic level, mezzo forte for the verse part, and Alleluia forte. All right, special notes and dynamics. Note the crescendo just before the refrain, and then this occurs each time. You'll see here on measure 12. Let's see if we can really get a nice crescendo as we approach Alleluia. That would be pretty neat. Okay? So be intentional about that. Think about increasing your dynamic level to forte through the end of that verse, right before the Alleluia. All right? And then finally, at the very end of the piece, on page 6, the composer makes a note right here. Look at this. Stay strong. Now the composer's probably thinking you'll forget the dynamic level after you turn the page. But keep that tone nice and full, nice full forte level, so we end the piece strong. Okay, so make note of that. Stay strong. All right. Now this is a recording note for dynamics, and this is a take it to the next level moment. Y'all are doing great with everything, but you know, we try and take it to the next level. So here's something to think about. Let's make a clear distinction between dynamic levels. It's a little more challenging to be mindful of your dynamic levels with headphones on, okay? Because, you know, this is just not a natural environment. You can't hear yourself well. So be very intentional about it. You may want to circle the dynamic levels so you see them and they remind you. Or you may want to move, you know, one of the headphones off of one of your ears so you're listening to accompaniment in one ear, but you have another one to hear your voice. In any case, it's still not a natural situation. It's easier to monitor your dynamic levels in a choir when you all feel it together. But this time, for this particular song, be a little more mindful. Mezzo forte and forte. Okay? And if we end up singing different dynamic levels, it compromises our choral blend, because it's hard to blend quiet voices and loud voices. Okay? So this is one adjustment I want you to think about as you're recording. Everything's been sounding great, but again, we just try and take things to the next level. All right, phrasing. Phrasing and breathing are very clear. Each phrase is about 2 measures long, and breaths are to be taken about every 2 measures. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, this piece. You know, come Christians join to sing, and then you breathe right there. Loud praise to Christ our King, and then you breathe there. And that pattern maintains all the way throughout. But there is one important breath in the Alleluias I want you to make sure you do. It goes, Alleluia, Amen. So make sure you all observe this breath there, okay? It's an important characteristic of this melody, okay? Don't carry through that, but nice clean break there. Video notes. You all are doing a great job with your videos. They are overall looking better and better. Only 2 notes this time. Make sure your head is near the top of the screen. This gives me more to work with. Like if I want to crop the video differently, like maybe include the shoulders or something. But if your head is toward the bottom of the screen, like this, it gives me less to work with. There have been some videos where I almost had no neck. It would have looked like a head on a platter, you know, and we don't want that effect. So just want to make sure I get something like this in your video. Do the best you can to get that, all right? And the other thing is, double check your video. Double check your video. I received a video last week that looked like there was an earthquake during the recording. While I have some powerful editing tools, I don't have any for earthquakes, so I couldn't fix it. So make sure to check your video for things like that, okay? Nothing's perfect, but if there's a glaring mistake, you know, you may have to do it again, all right? Like I said, I can fix some things. All right, have fun recording your part with this really, really neat anthem. I look forward to putting your videos together and sharing this with our church family. And remember to text, email, or call me if you have any questions.
Christians join to sing loud praise before his throne rejoice, praises his gracious choice. Alleluia, amen. Alleluia, come lift your hearts on high. Come lift your hearts. He is our guide and friend. To us he'll condescend. His love shall never end. Alleluia, amen.